What, are you police or security?
Police.
Oh, yeah.
Not many security guards carry guns, do they? Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, then I am going to stop and search you, given the fact of the position that we...
Alright guys, welcome back. Tonight, you're about to witness what happens when authority meets accountability. This isn't just another random police interaction. This is what unfolds when officers who clearly don't understand the Constitution confront citizens who absolutely do. From the very beginning, you can feel the tension. The camera is rolling, the live stream is active, and the officers approach with that familiar tone, confident, confrontational, and already assuming control. But here's the twist: the citizen doesn't fold. He stands firm, calm but sharp, reminding them, this is public property, and the First Amendment is not optional. This isn't about drama. It's about awareness. It's about exposing misconduct and showing everyday people why knowing your rights matters. Because once that badge meets a camera, everything changes. And trust me, this is where it starts getting intense.
Not bad, you?
Yeah, right, not bad.
I think you probably know why we're looking to stop you, don't you?
What, are you police or security?
Police.
Oh, yeah.
Not many security guards carry guns, do they? You're perfectly at liberty to say no, because I expect you know the law quite well. Do you have any idea on you at all?
No, I don't, mate.
Would you like to account for your actions in the area?
Not really, no, just taking photographs, that's it.
Okay. Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, then I am going to stop and search you, given the fact of the position that we find you in, the buildings you have been taking pictures of, and the fact you've admitted to taking photos of those
This is a public road, though. You haven't
offered me any reason why. It's Section 43 of the Terrorism Act.
As I just said, I'm taking photographs, mate.
Yeah. What buildings were you taking them off?
I'm not taking them or anything, really. I'm just taking whatever I feel like. I'm totally entitled to take photographs.
You are.
Yeah, so what are you saying then?
Also under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, I'm entitled to stop and search and stop and speak to anybody that I believe may be undertaking reconnaissance, hostile reconnaissance, or anything related to terrorism. And so also hang on, sorry, because I haven't been impolite and interrupted you.
No, but I just don't like the idea of being searched for no reason when all I'm doing is walking around with a camera.
The officer walks up aggressive, posturing, demanding answers that he's not legally entitled to. What's your name? Why are you here? The usual fishing expedition. But the citizen flips the script. He asks for badge numbers. He asks who they work for, the public, right? And suddenly the energy shifts. You can see it. The officer doesn't like being questioned. He doesn't like the spotlight. He doesn't like being reminded that the press is protected. Instead of professionalism, we get sarcasm. Instead of education, we get ego. The tension escalates when accusations start flying, subtle insinuations, reckless language, even hints at terrorism. And that's the playbook: intimidate first, justify later. But when intimidation fails, all that's left is frustration. And frustration under a badge? That's when things get dangerous.
I've given you a reason why I'm in the area.
The fact you're not willing to listen to it, that is somewhat arbitrary.
Yeah, I've just told you why I'm in the area. Okay. I'm a photographer.
But if that's the case...
I've got a YouTube channel, I take YouTube videos. If that's the case, then you're perfectly at liberty to give me a name and details, aren't you? No, why should I?
Okay.
It's a free country.
I know it is.
We're not living in China, are we, where you've got no rights to do anything. This is the UK, isn't it, where you've got rights to do what you want. So,
which is also...
And I'm entitled to walk around with my camera and take videos for YouTube and stuff like that.
Well, the reports of people are telling me...
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, just good.
TE06,
yeah, QP.
He's got his on as well.
Thank you very much.
So, like I said, Section 43 of the Terrorism Act gives me the power to stop and search you and obtain any details from you that you're willing to give to me.
Well, I'm not really...
Okay, if that's the case then, I am also at liberty to look at the memory cards, SD cards and anything on those cameras.
Don't be silly, no you're not.
No, I am.
No, you're not.
I am.
A court of law is the only person who's allowed to look at that.
Tell you what then, you put your camera down, get your phone out and Google.
Now we move to another scene, outside a state prison. Cameras up. Public sidewalk. Completely legal. Yet here come more questions. Why are you filming? What are you doing? The answer is simple: exercising constitutional rights. But that's never enough, is it? The officers probe, trying to manufacture suspicion where none exists. They claim they're just checking, but the tone says otherwise. It's not about safety, it's about control. And here's the critical point, guys: the First Amendment doesn't require permission. It doesn't demand explanation. It protects photography in public spaces. Period. When citizens calmly refuse to identify without lawful cause, officers begin circling, fishing for compliance. But knowledge is power. And the moment the officers realize they're dealing with someone informed, their authority feels threatened. That's when the cracks begin to show.
Says I'm allowed to look at them to see what you've been doing. Because if it is a case of what you have been looking at is hostile reconnaissance in relation to terrorism...
Hostile reconnaissance to what?
Because you've been taking pictures of a building that is of a sensitive nature.
Well, that logistics building. I'm doing absolutely no wrong, am I, with walking around with a camera?
You're doing wrong?
Well, so why are you searching me then?
At what point have I said you're doing wrong though?
So why would you search me?
Right, at what point have I said you're doing wrong?
You haven't, but why would you search me if I'm not doing anything wrong?
I've just told you under the Terrorism Act, Section 43.
Yeah, but then that means you suspect me of being a terrorist.
It's a suspicion, exactly.
What, you think I'm a terrorist?
It's not an accusation, is it?
You suspect I'm a terrorist? Why don't you go and speak to them first
Okay,
so they can stopping me?
Here we go. Let's chuck a controversial one in here. You're telling me you've spoken to them. When's the last time you think somebody lied to me as a police officer?
Probably all the time. I'm not a liar,
There we go. But I don't know that, do I?
I've told you what I'm doing. I'm totally entitled to walk around with a camera and film stuff. You know I am, so I don't know what you're going on about. You don't think I'm a terrorist. You know I'm not a terrorist.
I didn't say I didn't think you're a terrorist.
So why are you stopping me on the terrorism?
My suspicion is.
Then comes the classic phrase, I'm in the middle of an investigation. Suddenly, standing on a public easement becomes interference. The officer's tone sharpens. He starts barking orders. Move back. Step over there. But here's the problem, lawful orders require lawful justification. You don't get to invent a perimeter because a camera makes you uncomfortable. And that's exactly what this looks like, discomfort disguised as procedure. The citizen stands firm, reminding the officer he has every legal right to be there. Backup is called. Why? Because one camera now feels like a threat. And that's the psychology behind it. When authority isn't questioned, it flows smoothly. But when it's challenged with facts, policy, and calm resistance, cracks widen. And this encounter? It's about to spiral into something even more revealing.
Suspicion is not a statement of fact.
So then you've got to have a proper reason for stopping me, other than you just seeing me walking around. Of what? Because I'm walking around with a camera. Well, you better make sure you got this right, mate, because there's going to be a lot of trouble otherwise.
Okay, so why do we now have to resort to threats?
No, I'm not threatening you, am I? I'm just saying I'm not physical trouble. I'm just talking.
Why do we have to resort to a threat?
Because I'm going to go to a police station. I'm going to make a massive complaint. That's what I'm saying.
Completely engage with you in a polite and courteous manner.
Yeah, but you're
at no point have I been rude.
Yeah, are you able to show us some of your footage then of what you've taken?
I don't actually have to, do I? I'm totally entitled to walk around this country with a camera. You all know I am, and it's just you're trying to intimidate me by using terrorism acts and stuff like that.
Not trying to intimidate.
No, it's a normal police tactic. Throw big words around and scare people with big words. I'm sorry, I'm just messing my phone. I'm not getting in.
We have to attend every incident. This has come on to us as a 999 call over a secure site. We have a duty to investigate that and to make sure that.
Well, for a logistics firm, I'm not very happy about. I've got nothing on me, but I'm not happy about being searched just because it's infringement on my liberties, and I've done nothing wrong. So.
Officer safety, that's the justification. That's always the justification. You're in my blind spot. Take 20 steps back. 20 steps? Not 10. Not 15. 20. An arbitrary number thrown out to establish dominance. The citizen complies partially but questions the logic. And that's when it becomes obvious, this isn't about safety. It's about control optics. Because while the cameraman is ordered back, someone else stands close without issue. No orders. No warnings. Why? Because they don't have a camera. That double standard exposes everything. If it were truly about distance and danger, it would apply equally. But it doesn't. And once that hypocrisy is visible, the authority behind it starts to crumble. You can hear the frustration rising on both sides, but only one side is backed by constitutional protection.
We have to find out now what interactions you've had with security, if you've gone past into any secure areas, and exactly what's happened with the drone, all right?
The terrorists would come around at night or just film it on their dash cam, wouldn't they? Or they'd go...
It would be...
Do you know what I mean, though? It's like, surely...
You cannot predict the actions of a terrorist.
Yeah, but this is over... That would be covert surveillance, so surely a terrorist would use covert surveillance. They wouldn't stand out here in the broad daylight with a massive camera on a tripod, would they? They'd go and stand at the back and fly the drone. They wouldn't fly it on the middle of the road, would they? I stood there, like, right in the middle of all the cameras. Hello, mate.
We shouldn't try and predict the acts of a terrorist incident, should we really?
No, I know, but like...
You can see it's like got security, it's got barbed wire, which, what would that indicate?
Yeah, but I'm not... but there's no rules being broken on, or laws being broken by flying my drone over that building.
We're not talking about laws at the moment. All I'm talking...
Aren't we? I thought we got... No, these guys are talking about searching me under terrorism.
I'm having a conversation with you.
Okay.
Now it turns personal. The insults start flying. Officers feel mocked. The citizen feels targeted. But beneath the heated words is a serious issue, unequal enforcement. When the same 20 steps rule vanishes for someone else, credibility collapses. The citizen calls it out in real time. The supervisor stands by, silent or defensive, stripes on his sleeve but no correction offered. And that silence speaks volumes. Because leadership isn't about backing your team blindly, it's about correcting misconduct. Instead, ego fills the gap. The officers accuse him of distraction, of interference, of obstruction. Yet none of those legal standards are met. Words like distracting aren't in the statute. But intimidation often relies on invented terminology. And when those words fail to stick, frustration becomes visible for everyone watching.
But it's a secure building with barbed wire around it, and they've got two secure... I'm never getting in there, am I? It's very secure, so...
No,
do you know what I mean?
Would argue that if it's secure, there's things in there that they might not want anybody to see.
Because you're an auditor, aren't you?
I'm not actually... Nah, you see, this is that people often confuse the two. An auditor is someone who goes out and looks for problems on the sites, don't know, like site security and stuff like that. I'm actually just a YouTuber that just speeds footage up.
Okay, come back to...
It's slightly different. I carry this because I get stopped a lot, you know. I do. I speak to them. It's been back to the Royal Mail site, and if they come out, at least I've got the security come and attack me. Like them guys.
What's your first name, sorry?
I'm not a friend, you know, whatever, I suppose.
Look, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, have a nice day, guys. Thank you very much. Cheers.
This is where the mask completely slips. The argument shifts from law to emotion. Instead of citing statutes, officers trade insults. Instead of explaining policy, they double down on authority. And the citizen pushes back hard, reminding them of the oath, protect and serve, uphold the Constitution. That oath isn't symbolic. It's binding. But when officers dismiss it, when they openly show they don't care, that's the moment trust erodes. Not because someone is filming, but because accountability is rejected. And let's be real, guys, cameras don't create misconduct. They reveal it. What you're seeing isn't performance. It's reaction. And reactions under pressure show character. The badge carries power, yes, but it also carries responsibility. And when responsibility disappears, the public notices.